You think you know history? Think again. The textbooks lie, or at least, they leave out the most incredible parts. From presidents hiding secret pets to wars fought over a bucket, the past is a bizarre, fascinating, and often hilarious place. In this video, we're diving deep into the weirdest, most shocking, and most mind-blowing historical facts that were deemed too strange for the classroom. Get ready to have your view of the past fundamentally shaken. Stick around, because the final fact will change the way you look at one of the world's most famous landmarks. These are mind-blowing historical facts you never learned in school. Segment 1. Ancient Oddities. Let's start where it all began, the ancient world. Fact 1. Ancient Romans used pee as mouthwash. Yes, you heard that right. Urine contains ammonia, which is an excellent cleaning agent and whitener. Apparently, the Roman Empire had a whole industry built around collecting and using it. Talk about a pungent breath mint. Fact 2. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the launch of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramid was built around 2560 BC. Cleopatra died in 30 BC. The iPhone launched in 2007. The time gap is staggering and shows how truly ancient the pyramids are. Fact 3. The Library of Alexandria may not have been destroyed by a single fire. It likely faded away over centuries due to neglect, budget cuts, and repeated conflicts. The dramatic story of a single, catastrophic fire is a much tidier, but inaccurate, historical narrative. Segment 2. Royal rulers and their secrets. The powerful often lead the most eccentric lives. Fact 4. King Charles VI of France thought he was made of glass. He would refuse to let people touch him, wrapping himself in protective padding to prevent himself from shattering. This mental illness plagued his later reign. Fact 5. Queen Victoria survived at least 6 assassination attempts. The most bizarre? In 1850, an ex-military officer struck her in the face with a light cane, allegedly because he wanted to see the famous queen angry. Fact 6. Peter the Great of Russia enforced a beard tax. In 1698, to modernize Russia, he decreed that men must shave their beards. If they insisted on keeping them, they had to pay an annual tax and carry a special copper or silver coin to prove payment. No coin, no beard. Fact 7. The shortest reigning pope was Stephen II, who died of a stroke just 3 days after his election in 752 AD. He was consecrated but never actually crowned, leading to a long-standing historical debate over whether he officially counts as a pope. Segment 3. The darker corners. History isn't always fun and games. Sometimes it's downright dark. Fact 8. Before modern medicine, sugar was sometimes used as a treatment for wounds. Sugar creates an environment where bacteria struggle to grow, drawing moisture away from the wound and helping to prevent infection. It was a crude, early form of antiseptic. Fact 9. The average life expectancy in medieval England was only around 30 to 40 years. However, if you survived childhood, which was the main hurdle, you often lived much longer. Many people in their 60s and 70s were not uncommon. Fact 10. Early American colonists drank a lot of alcohol, even children. Water sources were often contaminated, and making beer, cider, or wine was a safer alternative as the brewing process killed off many harmful pathogens. It was seen as a necessary part of the daily diet. Fact 11. The London beer flood of 1814. A massive vat of porter at a London brewery burst, causing a chain reaction that resulted in over 1 million liters of beer flooding the streets. It destroyed 2 houses and killed at least 8 people through drowning or injuries. Segment 4. Inventive accidents. Many great inventions were total accidents. Fact 12. Penicillin, one of the most important discoveries in medicine, was found because Alexander Fleming was messy. He left a petri dish uncovered near an open window before going on holiday. When he returned, Mold had contaminated the dish, and the mold had killed the surrounding bacteria. Fact 13. Coca-Cola was originally green. It started as a patent medicine, and early versions of the syrup were green before the final recipe and caramel coloring were added. Fact 14. The first person to circumnavigate the globe was not Ferdinand Magellan. Magellan died halfway through the journey in the Philippines. It was actually his Basque second-in-command, Juan Sebastián Elcano, who successfully completed the voyage in 1522. Fact 15. The microwave oven was invented by accident by a scientist working on radar technology. Percy Spencer was working on an active radar set when he noticed a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. Intrigued, he experimented with popcorn kernels and an egg, leading to the creation of the first microwave. Segment 5. Warfare and Politics. Beyond the battles, the history of conflict is often much stranger than the history books let on. Fact 16. The War of Jenkins' Ear was a real war. It started in 1739 between Great Britain and Spain. The casus belli was the severed ear of a British captain, Robert Jenkins, who claimed a Spanish coast guard had cut it off years earlier. Fact 17. During World War II, the U.S. military developed a plan to train bats to carry small incendiary bombs to drop on Japanese cities. The plan, known as Project X-Ray, involved surgically attaching tiny time-delayed bombs to bats and releasing them over urban areas. It was abandoned after testing proved too unpredictable. Fact 18. Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender. Before his political career, he co-owned a general store in New Salem, Illinois, which held a liquor license. Fact 19. President Andrew Jackson had a pet parrot that had to be removed from his funeral because it kept swearing loudly. The parrot had apparently picked up Jackson's own profanities. Segment 6. Modern connections. These final facts bridge the gap between yesterday and today. Fact 20. Woolly mammoths were still alive when the Great Pyramid of Giza was being built. Specifically, a population of dwarf mammoths survived on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean until about 4,000 years ago, which is hundreds of years after the construction of the pyramids. Fact 21. There was a time when the color purple was reserved exclusively for Roman emperors. The dye was incredibly rare and expensive, derived from a specific Mediterranean sea snail. It was literally illegal for anyone else to wear it. Fact 22. The longest war in history was not a hot war. It was a ceremonial conflict between the Netherlands and the Isles of Scilly, off the coast of Cornwall, UK, which lasted 335 years, from 1651 to 1986. No shots were ever fired. Fact 23. The Eiffel Tower was originally intended to be a temporary structure. It was built as the entrance arch for the 1889 World's Fair, and was scheduled to be dismantled in 1909. It was saved because it proved invaluable for, you guessed it, radio and telegraph communication. And finally, the fact we promised you, the one that changes everything. Fact 24. The Tyrannosaurus rex lived closer in time to you than to the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus died out about 150 million years ago. The T-Rex died out 66 million years ago. We are closer to the T-Rex than the T-Rex was to the Stegosaurus. It's a stunning reminder of the sheer, incomprehensible depth of time. History isn't just dates and names, it's a world of absurd laws, accidental breakthroughs, and unbelievable stories. If you were shocked by any of these facts, which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.